Welcome to my video on equivalent rational expressions, part 1. Let's do a bit of review before we start. Equivalent fractions or rational expressions. Fractions and rational expressions, same thing. Let's review. Negative 5 times 3x is a negative 15x. We're reviewing multiplication. 2 times 4x squared. 2 times 4 is 8x squared. 4x times x squared, 4x cubed. Now we're multiplying monomial of binomials, so 3x times x is 3x squared. 3x times 7 is a plus 21x. And we have two binomials, so we multiply first x squared, outside, negative 4x, inside, negative 2x, last, plus 8. And you add up your like terms, and you get 4x and negative 4x and negative 2x is negative 6x plus 8, because you can only add like terms. X plus 3 squared is x plus 3 times x plus 3. And again, FOIL. First, outside, inside, last. And we can add up our like terms. It gives me a 6x plus 9. And we got binomials again. FOIL. First, 10x squared. Outside, 4x. Inside, 5x. And last. And we add up our middle terms. We get 4x, 5x is 9x plus 2. So that's a review of multiplying. Also, two fractions are equivalent if they represent the same expression when reduced. So if you reduce 10 over 15, 5 into 10 goes 2, 5 into 15 goes 3. 2 is a GCF, 2 into 4 goes 2, 2 into 6 goes 3. So by reducing these, you can see that, whoa, look what I did. 5 into 10 goes 2, 5 into 15 goes 3. I did the reverse. What I had, I didn't get the same number, so they weren't equivalent. And then I looked back and I said, well, I divided by 5 wrong. Now, what happens? We want to reduce these, so that's 2. Are they equivalent? Well, let's see. 2 is a GCF of your denominator. And that means because 2 is on top and bottom, we can cancel. So we get 1 over x plus 8. And if we factor this denominator, we got a 1 here, so that's an x. That's 2 brackets, x and x. What's the factors of 28 to give me a 3? 28 is 1 times 28, 2 times 14, and 4 times 7. So 4 and 7 are the factors that give me a 3, but I have to have a positive. The product is negative 28 and the sum is negative 3, so I have to have a plus 4 and a minus 7. So the x minus 7 cancels on top and bottom, so I get 1 over x plus 4. Now, that's a 4 here, and I'm looking around. 2 took 2 out, and I said an 8, but it should have been a 4. No? So they are the same. I thought I made a mistake. Again, I do make mistakes. I apologize, but that's just my makeup. When I do make mistakes, say, oh yeah, he made a mistake, and continue on. But when I took 2 out of here, 2 into 2x goes x, 2 and 8 goes 4, and I wrote down an 8. Apologize. They are the same, so they're equivalent. And D, are these equivalent? Well, if I reduce them, let's see. 2 comes out as a GCF, I get x plus 7. 3 comes out as a GCF, I get an x plus 7. And the x plus 7's cancel, so I get 2 over 3. 1, 1. And let's reduce these. This GCF is 2x. So if I take the 2x out, I get an x minus 3. If I take, right here I see a 3 and an x, so I take the 3x out, GCF, I get an x minus 3. And because I'm simplifying the numerator and denominator, the x minus 3's cancels out, and the x's cancels out, so I get a 2 over 3, so they are equivalent. So equivalent fractions, two fractions are equivalent if when you reduce them, they have the same numbers, same fraction. Okay, let's take that idea and go further with it. Equivalent fractions are rational expressions. If the numerator and denominator of a fraction is multiplied by the same expressions, then the result is a pair of equivalent fractions. So let's take the 2/5. If I take the 2/5 and I multiply by 2, multiply 2/5 by 4 over 4. 4 over 4 is a 1. So that means I'm going to get an 8 over 20. So 8 over 20 is equivalent to 2 over 5 because I multiply both by 4. If I take the 2/5 and multiply by x over x, then I'll get 2x over 5x. Notice I'm multiplying by 1, same as multiplying by 4 over 4. So 2x over 5x is the same, equivalent to 8 over 20 is equivalent to 2/5. If you're multiplying by binomials, then you'll get 2 times x plus 6, and you get 5x plus 15. So this fraction here is equivalent to 2x over 5x, 8 over 20, which is equivalent to 2/5. Because remember, if you divide this fraction by 4, top and bottom, you get 2/5. If you cancel out the x's here, you get 2/5. If you factor the 2 out of the top and the 5 out of the bottom, right here, you would get this, and they would cancel to give you the 2/5. So by multiplying the top and bottom by the same number, then you get this equivalent fractions. Here we go. What about x over x plus 2? Multiplying it by 3 over 3 will give you 3x. And if you want to multiply, if you want to leave it like that, you can. If you want to go 3x plus 6, but multiplying this fraction by 3 over 3, this new fraction is equivalent to what you have. If you multiply by x over x, then you get x squared all over x times x plus 2. And again, if you want to multiply that and get x squared plus 2x, go ahead. But this fraction is equivalent to x over x plus 2. And if you multiply by a binomial, you get x times x minus 2 all over x plus 2, x minus 2. And if you want to multiply that out, go ahead. But no matter what way you leave it, notice first outside, if you think about it, that's an x squared. That's a negative 4. The outside is negative 2x. The inside is plus 2x to give you the 0. So this fraction, expressed this way or this way, is equivalent to x over x plus 2. Because this is multiplying it by 1. This is multiplying it by 1. This is multiplying it by 1. So the new fraction is equivalent to the one we started with, x over x plus 2. And to do this one, I got an x minus 3 all over 2x minus 1. And notice that's here 3 times. So if you multiply by 2, you get 2x minus 6 all over 4x minus 2. Multiply by 4x over 4x, you get 4x squared minus 12x all over 8x squared minus 4x. So this fraction here is equivalent to x minus 3 over 2x minus 1 because you multiplied by 1. And right here, same thing. You got FOIL here now. So I got, if you multiply by x plus 6 over x plus 6, then you get an x squared plus 6x minus 3x minus 18. And that becomes x squared plus 3x minus 18. Notice I multiply this fast because what I do, I just go x times x, x times 6, and then negative 3 times x, negative 3 times 6. I'm doing the FOIL, but I didn't. And the bottom is 2x times x, 2x times 6, negative 1 times x, negative 1 times negative 6, and that simplifies to 2x squared plus 11x minus 11. So this new fraction right here is equivalent to x minus 3 over 2x minus 1. Why? Because we multiplied by 1 over 1. So this fraction here and this fraction and this one can all be reduced if I wanted to by working backwards by factoring, reduce back to x minus 3 over 2x minus 1. Okay, knowing that, let's do some work. Find an equivalent fraction to 2 over 7 whose denominator is 21. So if I take 2 over 7, which is what I have, and I want to make that with a denominator of 21. So that means 7 into 21 goes 3. So if I multiply 7 by 3 to get 21, I also have to multiply the numerator by 3. So that gives me a 6. So 6 over 21 is equivalent to 2 over 7 because I multiplied by 3 over 3. If I gave you 6 over 21 and said reduce it, you say 3 into 6 goes 2, 3 into 21 goes 7. So if I divide by 3 top and bottom, I get 2 over 7. If I multiply 2 over 7 by 3 over 3, then I get 6 over 21, which is the equivalent. And again, we have 2 over 7, and I want to have a denominator of 28x. So I have a 7. So if I multiply 7, 7 into 28 goes 4, and I need an x. So 7 divided into 28x is 4x. So at the bottom, got a 4x. I also have to have a 4x on the top. So when I multiply, I get 8x over 28x. So this fraction is equivalent to 2 over 7. And the same here. I got a 2 over 7. And I want the denominator to be 7 times x minus x plus 1. So if this denominator is 7 times x plus 1, that means I multiplied 7 by x plus 1. That means I multiply the top by x plus 1. So I can go 2 times x plus 1, or I can go 2x plus 2, and I could multiply the bottom by, or I could leave the bottom as that. So notice because I have 7 times x plus 1, I had to multiply 7 by x plus 1, and I had to multiply 2 by x plus 1. So I can leave it as 2 times x plus 1 or 2x plus 2. But as we do more fractions, you'll see how to handle this. Notice if I leave my denominator factored, I don't have to leave my numerator factored. And the reason for that, because we're going to add fractions. So we have to add our numerators. So not multiplying this out gives me this expression. So if I'm going to add more to it, I can see what I'm adding. But I don't have to multiply my denominators. You'll see that coming up. D, I got a 2 over 7. Okay, and I need 14x minus 21. But this is not factored. So if I take the 7 out, 7 into 14x goes 2x, 7 into 21 goes 3. Because I factored this expression, now I can see I have a 7 in it. So notice 7 times 2x minus 3 is the same as 14x minus 21. That means I have to multiply 7 by 2x minus 3. 7 times 2x minus 3 will give me 14x minus 21. So I have to multiply the numerator by 2x minus 3. So that'll give me 4x minus 6. Again, I didn't multiply the bottom, but I did multiply the top. But you can see I'm multiplying by the same expression on top and bottom. So that makes this fraction, or this fraction right here, this one, equivalent to 2 over 7. Let's continue. Very important to handle this in adding and subtracting fractions. Find equivalent fraction to 3 over x minus 2, whose denominator is this. So let's take 3 and x minus 2, and we need a denominator called 4 times x minus 2. So that's 4 times x minus 2. This means that this denominator got to multiply by 4, and this denominator got to multiply by 4 to make it equivalent. So 3 times 4, 12. So this fraction is equivalent to 3 divided by x minus 2, because we multiplied it by 4 over 4. We got 3x minus 2, and we need x times x minus 2. So x minus 2, I have to multiply it by x to give me x times x minus 2. So that means I multiply the numerator by x. So x over x is the same as 1. So 3 times x, 3x. And there's the equivalent fraction. And we need, our fraction is this one. We got to multiply it by whatever. Let's see. We have x squared minus 4, but we got to factor this. Always look at the factored form. X plus 2 minus 2. When you have it factored, then you can see what you got to multiply. So really, x squared minus 4 is the same as x plus 2, x minus 2. And what does that do? It tells me that I have to multiply x minus 2 by x plus 2 on top and bottom to have an equivalent fraction. So x minus 2 times x plus 2, there it is. And how you write which one you goes first or second makes no difference. And multiply 3 times x, 3 times 2. So that's equivalent. This fraction right here is equivalent to this one, because I multiplied it by x plus 2 over x plus 2. And we have to do the same here, only I have to factor this, and again that's a 1x squared, so it's an x and an x. And 8 is to give me a 6 is 4 and 2. And a positive product, and sum is negative, so it's 2 negatives. That's the factorization. And so we want the denominator to be, I can go x squared minus 6x plus 8, or I can write down x minus 4x minus 2, same. This trinomial is factored here. So that means that this x minus 2 has to be multiplied by x minus 4 on top and bottom. So that multiplication is right there. And so multiply the numerators, 3x minus 12. So this fraction is equivalent to 3 over x minus 2. So you have to factor these to see what they are, because these are already factored. So more practice. Find equivalent fractions to this one, whose denominator is. So I have a 2x x plus 4. So 2x plus 3 over x plus 4. And I want, this multiplication here, and I want the denominator to be x times x plus 4. So that's x plus 4, so I need an x times that to give me that. So that means I have to put an x on the top, because I have to multiply it by x over x. X over x is the same as 1. So if I multiply, I get 2x squared plus 3x. And again, this fraction is equivalent to 2x plus 3 over x plus 4. Why? Because I multiplied it by x over x. And the same here. I have 2x plus 3, and I have an x plus 4. And I want my denominator to be 10 times x plus 4 on the bottom. So I already got an x plus 4. So x plus 4 divided into this will give me a 10. So 10 times x plus 4 will give me this. So I multiply the numerator by 10. So that gives me 20x plus 30. Again, I could have left it as 10 times 2x plus 3. But either or. This fraction is equivalent to 2x plus 3 over x plus 4. And I want the denominator to be this, but I should factor this. I got a 1 coefficient, so this is x and x. What's the factors of 10 to give me a 9? Well, what's the factors of 20 to give you 9? 5 and 4. 5 times 4 is 20, and I need a plus 5 and a plus 4. Product is positive, so I have two pluses. That means 2x minus 3 all over x plus 4. What am I going to multiply it by to give me x plus 5, x plus 4? So factoring this trinomial tells me what my factors are. So now I can see that the denominator is x plus 4, so I need an x plus 5. Because x plus 4 times x plus 5, there it is, even though the order is changed, makes no difference. I need an x plus 5 on the top. So multiplying this fraction right here by x plus 5 or x plus 5 is going to give me an equivalent fraction. So when I multiply this out, I want to do it by FOIL. I can leave it as that 2x plus 3 times x plus 5, or I can multiply it all the way out. So 2x squared plus 10x plus 3x plus 15 gives me 2x squared plus 13x plus 15 all over x plus 5, x plus 4. So factoring this, you can see what you have to multiply x plus 4 by to give you this denominator. So you multiply the numerator by the same expression, x plus 5 over x plus 5. And the last one here on this page, I have to factor this. So I got to do all this work to factor. So here I go. Let's factor it where? We could factor it right here. 3 is not a GCF, so the product is 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. The sum is in the middle of 11. So the factors of 12 to give me 11 must be 12 and 1. But the product is negative, so I have to have a plus and a minus, or a minus and a plus. So I have to have a plus 11 minus 1. So that gives me 3x squared plus 12x minus 1x minus 4. So notice these two factors are put in here with an x, because when you add these two together, you get a plus 11. We take the 3x out. 3x squared divided by 3x is x. 12x divided by 3x is plus 4. And I got a negative there, so I take a negative 1 as a GCF. So that gives me x plus 4. So x plus 4 is common. And I have to have 3x minus 1. So what am I going to multiply 2x plus 3 over x plus 4? Well, I'm going to multiply that by to get this denominator, x plus 4, 3x minus 1. So I have an x plus 4, so I need 3x minus 1. That means the numerator got to be 3x minus 1. Again, factoring this, which I did, then I can see that I need an x minus 1. So I had to put it on the top. So that gives me, and multiply by FOIL, 6x squared minus 2x plus 9x minus 3. So the fraction is 6x squared plus 7x minus 3 when you add these two. And leave your denominator in factored form. It don't make any difference. You can leave it in factored form or you can leave it in that form. But you're going to find out when you're adding and subtracting fractions, your denominator, you leave it in factored form. Okay. More practice. Very important. Very, very important to be able to work these through. Here we go. I I have a denominator of 20x. I need to put this fraction with a denominator of 20x. So put the 20x here. So 10x and the 20x gives you a 2. So 2 times 10x gives you 20x. So I got to multiply the top by 2. So 2 times x, 2x, 2 times 3, negative 6. So there's an equivalent fraction to this one that has that denominator. And right here, I need 15x times x plus 1. So what am I going to multiply? 3 times x plus 1 to give me this. So I need a 5. 5 times 3 is 15, and I need an x. Notice x plus 1 is there. 3 is there. So 3 into 15x is 5x. So if I put 5x on the bottom, I have to put 5x on the top in the numerator. Multiply 20x. Okay, go again. I need an x times x minus 3 denominator. There it is. So if this is the fraction I have, what do I multiply x minus 3 by to give me this? It's x. X times x minus 3 will give me that, so I have to put an x here. Now, x minus 2 times x is x squared minus 2x, equivalent fraction. And that's the way you just take your time and you work them through, and everything works out perfect. I need this denominator. So what do I need to multiply x plus 2 by? X minus 4. So I multiply the top by x minus 4. Now, I could multiply this out and write it down again, but I'm going to do it, watch, I'm going to do the FOIL on this, I'm going to do it faster. 4x times x is 4x squared. 1 times negative 4, negative 4. So that's the first and the last. Now, if I do outside, inside in my head, so that gives me a negative 16x. That gives me 1x. So that's negative 15x. So I did the first two, 4x squared. I did the last two, negative 4. Then without writing down the x, I just wrote down negative 16 and plus 1. That's negative 15 with an x. Fast way to do FOIL. Just think about it. But you only do what I'm doing when you get used to it. And we have x plus 10 here, but this is 3x squared plus 30x, so 3x comes out to give me x plus 10. So I have to factor this to see what this is. So now, rather than look at this as an addition, let's look at 3x times x plus 10. And what do you see? You see an x plus 10 here. I need to multiply it by 3x. So 3x times x plus 10 will give me this denominator. So the numerator got to be a 3x. And again, 7x times 3x is 21x squared. 2 times 3x is 6x. So I left my denominator in factored form, which you're going to have to do when you do adding and subtracting fraction. But the numerator, I multiply them. I multiply these together because I'm going to have to add. And I see a descending order perfect. I see a 2x squared. 12 divided by 2 is 6. X cubed divided by x squared is x minus 2x squared divided by negative 2x squared divided by 2x squared is 1. And I have 2x squared. Again, you have to factor this. So I have a 6x minus 1 already. What do I need? I need a 2x squared. Multiply. And I get 2x cubed plus 8x squared. Perfect. And factor this one. Again, I have a 1. So it's an x and x. Factors of 18 to give me a 3. And 1 and 18, no. 2 and 9, no. 3 and 6. Multiply 18, and I get a 3 when I subtract. So it's a 6 and a 3. Product is negative, so I have a plus and a minus. So it's a plus 6 minus 3. And as you can see, because I have it factored, which is this, you can see what you got to multiply by. What am I going to multiply by? X minus 3, top and bottom. Now I'm going to multiply this fast again. What's x times x? X squared. What's negative 9 times negative 3? 27. Now, outside, negative 3. Inside, negative 9. So that's a negative 12 with an x. Notice I didn't put the x here and here. I just put the numbers. But I know when I multiply, I'm going to get negative 3x and 9x. Just a little faster way to do it. Equivalent fraction. Take the 10 out of these two. Perfect. And you can see if you factor this denominator, there it is, write it down. What do you need to multiply x plus 4 by to give you this? You need a 10. So I need a 10 on the top. So 10 times x squared, 10x squared. 10 times 2, 10x. 10 times 7, notice, and that's the equivalent fraction. And for the last, if you factor this out, and so if you did this, notice you need an x minus 5. So let's put an x minus 5 right there. So 6x squared divided by x is 6x. 5 plus 5 divided by minus 5 is negative 1. So just think about it. 6x times x is 6x squared. Negative times a negative is positive. So if you did the outside, you get a negative 30. Inside is negative 1. That's your 31. So there's your denominator. Again, you can, because I have this, I know that that got to be there. So that's why I did this fast. And sometimes those little tricks help out. And what do I need to multiply by? 6x minus 1 on the bottom, 6x minus 1 on the top. And I'm going to multiply this by FOIL quickly. X times 6x. Negative 1 times negative 1. Outside, negative 1. Inside, negative 6. Altogether, negative 7x. So that's setting up equivalent fractions. Extensive review, very important. You'll see how that'll pay off when we go to add fractions. If you like my video, click on the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell, because there are more videos coming your way. And visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. And that's the content that's on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Bye-bye.